welcome. Welcome. Today I'm having Dr. Manyiko from Ladysmith Hospital. So he studied in SMU. I don't know. I'm so lucky to have these guys who finished in 2018. You know, because it's good for them, for us, since they have done the internship and no, wait. You're in your second year internship, no?
Yeah, it's a second year internship.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'm confusing you with Magaguda there and the Frank and Roche. But yeah, so today we're having Dr. Manyiko from the Ladysmith Hospital, KZN. So yeah, you can just introduce yourself and greet the people, Dr. Manyiko.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Isaac Manyiko.
We can't see you, man.
You wanna see me?
Yeah, I just want to see the person talking.
Chief.
But don't worry about that.
You know, I'm just in my
yeah, it's cool. It's
gown
cool.
and stuff. So yeah, that's why I didn't introduce to me.
No,
okay, it's fine.
It's winter, man.
So yeah, it's Isaac Manyiko. Started in Medunsa, completed in 2019.
Yeah.
Now it's currently second year internship. So yeah.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, so your camera is moving. I don't know what's happening there, or it's you moving around. But yeah, I just wanted to find out in terms of Ladysmith, man. Was it if you can just give us a brief of about applying there? Was it your number one hospital you want to go to, and what were the others and why?
Okay, yeah. Okay, Ladysmith was my first choice, but then reason why is that my friends were this side, and then I wanted to be closer to Durban, so that is why I chose Ladysmith. But then with the working environment, I think I like it. So it's quite chilled, and then yeah, even the learning process, it's welcoming.
I don't know, you know, most of the hospitals there, I'm certain, you know, when they talk about color form, JST, I try to, I have a bit of a clue. But how is Ladysmith? Like, is it a level 1, level 2? What type of hospital is it?
Okay, Ladysmith is classified under level 1, but then it's a regional hospital actually. But
Dr. Manyiko, I'm not sure if it's my computer here, but we lost you. Your voice, your audio is not functioning, so I'm not sure. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because you were talking, but I lost you, so I'm not sure if it's on my side.
I think it's muted. I can't even hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, you're busy explaining the hospital because we lost you for a moment there.
Okay. What? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. My phone is connected on my car and someone is in my car.
Oh, okay. No problem.
So I just wanted to switch off the Bluetooth.
Oh, okay. No problem. We can wait for you there and see. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're busy.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Yeah, you're busy explaining the type of hospitalities.
Okay, yeah, it's okay. What I can say is that it's in a small town, but it's actually in town where like everything is there. So the issue is that with Ladysmith, I think it's classified under level 1 because it's a very small town. And then what I can say is that it's probably the biggest hospital around, because there are some hospitals that are referring to Ladysmith. Because like I'm saying that because it also has rural allowance, which mostly is level 1. So that's why I'm saying it's level 1. But back then it used to be called a regional hospital. But because of where it's situated and other hospitals are referring to it, so it's called a provincial hospital.
Wait, so if you're to give an example in terms of, is it in Ladysmith, like the town?
Yeah, it's in Ladysmith in town.
Which is in KZN? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So how far is it from the CBD? I mean, what do you call this? Okay, Durban.
It's about, I think it's 1 hour, 30 minutes drive. So it's about 200 and something kilos.
Oh, 200 and something kilos. Oh, okay. So it's like you do CTs, you have all these things. If you're to compare it with like some Gauteng hospital, how is it like? Is it like colorful?
Okay, what I can say, like, okay. So what's happening is that we have, let me say, consultants.
Yeah.
But then we don't have registrars. So we have consultants and MOs and also interns and ComServe, a bit of them. So we cannot really compare with Car or JST because we don't have registrars this side.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see. I think it's more like Polokwane provincial and
yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. So how's the rotation there? I think we should just go straight. I just wanted to find out how the hospital is, but how are the rotations? How, if you were to go through the rotations, how you did them last year and currently, and just telling us like in terms of if it was Gen Surg, how was it, the downfall side of it, the good side of it, then we move to the next one.
Okay, so what I can say is that with rotations, first year you do surgery, internal med, obs and gyn, and pediatrics. So depending on where you're rotating. So myself, I started with Gen Surg, which but back then I had 1 consultant, but currently I think they have 3 consultants. So, Ladysmith and violence. So yeah, Ladysmith, okay, fine. With surgery, it becomes hectic, close to month end, 25, 30. But then with the workload, I think it's manageable. But then with male ward, yeah, it's the one that's hectic. But the other wards, it's fine because I mean, you do female ward, male ward, and also pediatric surgery at the same time. However, you only do it at the provincial level, which there are some cases that you can't solve them in a provincial, where you have to refer to Grace Hospital. So with PEDS as well, yeah, by the time I did PEDS, it was in December, we had 1 consultant, but currently we have 2 consultants. So even PEDS, it's actually chill because I did Ward 6, which it was a general ward, and then you go to Ward 8. Actually, Ward 6 was made a COVID ward due to COVID, and then Ward 6 was a general ward where you see general medical conditions, pediatrics, and also surgical, which is just a combination. And then I also did NICU. So the rotation is just 1 month rotation because currently the new guideline HPCSA is 3 months first year. It's 3 months rotations first year in all the 4 domains. And then second year you do family medicine for 6 months, and then you do orthopedics, you do psych, and then also do anesthesia. That's 2 months, 2 months. And then with internal medicine as well, I did last year, I think it was my 2nd block, where you rotate in a medical ward, female ward, and also OPD, and then also rotate in a CDC, which is so HIV and also TB patients. But yeah, what I can say is that back then we had 1 consultant. I think even now they still have 1 consultant. So, and working with MOs, which in the wards, that's what you do. You work with MOs and then you just do your round and then you consult them whenever you get stuck with some of the things. And then OPD is the same as well. You see patient on yourself, and then when you have problems, you just consult whoever is responsible for that day. If we usually call them a captain of the day, then you consult them and then they help you with whatever that you're struggling with. And then CDC, it's also the same, where you work with an MO. Then you see TB patients, HIV patients. Most of the time, it's just a renewal of the scripts until where you find that now you have difficulties where patients are having complications. For example, we can say like they are having, let's say, renal failure due to the regimen, and then where you have to change to a renal friendly regimen. But then those things, you learn them as you are there in that rotation. And then the last one, which I did, I think it's obs and gynae as well. Obs and gynae has 2 consultants and MOs. So I think it's quite chill because like you have labor ward, which you rotate in labor ward, gynae ward, and also ANC, where you see those chronic, but what's this high risk patients at ANC clinic. But with that, you only see them with MOs and also consultants sometimes. And then with labor ward, you also see them actually, like when you're on call, you are the first person to be called, and then you go assess and then call the person, the second on call, which is the MO that you're working with. Only then you call, usually you call when you have problems to let them know what's happening in the ward. Sometimes they come and check, but most of the time you just do the thing alone there, work alone, and then you only consult them when you need them. And then post-call, you just do a postnatal where you're discharging all those NVDs and even C-sections, which that we almost learn it from as you are in a rotation.
Oh, okay, I see. But from that being said, I mean, from that, what can you say were the challenging blocks so far?
Okay, for me, I can say it's PEDS, but then, you know, when you're starting in PEDS, those are tiny blood vessels, and then you struggle with them a little bit, maybe probably 1 week or 2, and then after that, you get used to it. Yeah, I think that's the one that was mostly challenging to me. And let me say, gynae sometimes, but then most of it, it's because like gynae, I think I rotated 2 weeks or 1 week in those domains. So yeah, that one was more challenging because it was not straightforward sometimes. But the rest of the blocks, I think, no, they were fine.
Oh, they're fine. Oh, okay. So in terms of gynae, do they allow, when do you get to cut? Which blocks do they allow you to cut?
Gynae, yeah, gynae. You start in gynae cutting. So you will have a week where you are working in theater. So it depends on how comfortable you are. You can cut first day, or probably it depends on the person that you're working with. Some MO can just give you first one, they show you, you observe, and then the second patient you cut. And then they give you all the time. Usually you cut during the day when you are in theater. So sometimes you do cut at night, depending on whether the patient is first Caesar or second time, because second time they tend to be complicated with those adhesions, but mostly first cesarean section you can cut.
Oh, okay. So it's you mentioned about like there's always, it's a violent place. How violent is it? You mentioned something about that.
No, you know, Zulus, they're always fighting whenever they are drunk. So most of the time when you are doing surgery, or let me say casualty call, you might find that the day you see step chairs, gunshots, mostly Fridays, Saturdays, well, weekends. You see those kind of cases.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but then if you are into surgery, I can recommend Ladysmith because you are more exposed to those things. Gunshot, step chest, and step abdomen. These are the things that you normally see, like suturing and stuff. If you want such experience in those things, yeah, I think you can come to Ladysmith.
I see. But talking about that just takes me straight to the safety, you know, and security.
Yeah.
How is it? Because now we're talking about the gunshots and all this stuff.
No, they won't just shoot you out of nowhere. But then what I can say is that as a small city as it is, like what I can say is that when I came here, most people said, as you are from outside, not from originally from Ladysmith, you just have to mind your own business and stay in your lane. Because I mean, some of the guys here, they are not happy to see you as someone who's coming from outside and then working there as a doctor, because they want to actually have this place as theirs and rule and lead into it. But then it's not something that you can say you are at risk of getting what I can say, violence and injury or things like that. But then most of the time is that you just have to stay in your lane. Yes, you can go wherever, groove, but then you just have to make sure that you don't have to step on the wrong foot. If someone is targeting you, just apologize and leave it like that. That's a lifestyle after internship, after work. So yeah.
I see. Yeah. So the surrounding, how's the surrounding? Like as a town, you know, you got malls around, or it's sort of an auction?
Okay, I don't know whether there is someone who knows Pretoria, but if you know downtown Pretoria, it's just a small town where, like, I think we have, it's a small mall. It's not really a mall, but then we have just a few shopping centers. I think there are about 3 or 4. And also, yeah, we do have quite, but then what I can say is that some of the things, when you need them, you'll have to go to Newcastle, which is about an hour drive. Actually, it's about 90 kilometers from here. And then that's where you'll find a better mall. Like, I think it also has a cinema there. But here you don't have a cinema. It's just a bit dry. Like, if you want more entertainment, the closest you can get, it's either you go to Durban or you go to Pietermaritzburg. With Pietermaritzburg, it's also another, I think it's 1 hour, 30 minutes drive to go there.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, it sounds like it's a bit in like in town. Is it? But I don't think we can compare it to Ode. It's in fact Mankweng type of thing. Like, but it's, do you have, like, in the town that you have, you got nice, you got the restaurants, the usual ones like KFC, McDonald's, you know?
Yeah, those ones, they are there. KFC, McDonald's, Chicken Lickings, they are there. But I think the one that you can say you can go and chill there, it's Spare and Steers. And yeah, we do have some other places. I think there's a place called Guinea Fowl. It's the same as a restaurant. And then there's another one, it's called Malibu. It's a place like where you can just chill. It's actually decent, where you can just chill and order whatever that you want to order there.
No, it sounds like a good, if you say so, then I think if you mention those things, I think it's a good hospital. I mean, the surrounding, it's cool. If you have space.
Yeah, it is quite better. But then if you want more fun, I mean, it's not that fun. You can go to PMB or you can go to Durban.
Our cars are not like yours, man. You know, ours, it ends at gear 5. So.
But still, you get there. I mean, it's just a car.
Yeah, but no, man, that car, they're not powerful. They're not that powerful, you know. So, so yeah.
But you know, you can do better than me anyway.
Nah, I can't. Yeah, so in terms of that, I think you're talking about the rotations. And how many interns do they take then?
Okay, when I came, I think they took about 30, but some they didn't come. I think we ended up 22. And then last year they took about 30. And then I think most of them came because earlier we had about 25 that came. So some of them joined us just during the year.
Oh, okay. So you think that you're saying that place is like Zulu dominant place, like then it's Zulu one way. Even the interns.
Yeah, it's a Zulu one way. So, I mean, if you come here, you have to be prepared to speak Zulu because it's a Zulu dominant. There's no other language that these people understand because most of the time you're working with the elderly. Some of them, they don't even know their age. And then, you see, so that's when you like really have to know Zulu. But then, I mean, we do have sisters that can interpret, helping you with Zulu here and there if you don't understand. But yeah, I think you should be someone who's understanding Zulu, even if you can't speak it, but then just break it here and there and then try to make the other person understand what you say.
Oh, okay. Just I don't want to offend Zulus. Just this question that I'd like to ask, since they say Zulus are stubborn, like, can you intervene there? How true is that?
I think that one depends on your approach on them, because some of them, they're not really stubborn, but the elderly one, yeah, they are stubborn. This one, some they will refuse to be seen by you because you are younger than them. So, but other than that, it depends on how you approach them.
Hey, I think we're having a lot of bad things or negative things. Just tell me a few positive things about the hospital, man. I think I'm hearing a lot of negative and bad things there.
You mean about Ladysmith?
Yeah, some positive things, you know. Like so far, I'm just, you know, I'm thinking as one that would like to come, even though I don't want to come, but I'm thinking as a person who wants to go to Ladysmith, right? And now I'm hearing this, you know, yeah, Zulus, this, that. But just tell me some positive side of it.
No, I think, you see, the thing is, if you really want to...
Your voice, man, your audio went away. I don't know what's... Can you hear me, man? Your audio went...
as I was saying, like throughout the rotations that I've worked in, I've never had anyone who was violent to me or someone who was rude to me. That's why I was saying, like, it depends on how you approach them. But I've never heard of anyone who said there was a patient that was rude to me or things like that. It's just that you will have this disagreements when you don't understand each other and they notice that, no, this one is not Zulu from your accent and the way you're speaking Zulu. But most of them, they are not violent in that way. Actually, they are not violent. It's just that people assume that Zulus are violent because, I mean, they are always fighting and stuff, but then most of them, they're not violent.
Oh, okay. So if you
and the good thing is that whenever you can go to work and then you just do your thing, your work, and then do your round. Whenever you're done, you just leave and you have the whole day just free, depending on where you are working.
So you can just leave, like you don't have to be there to say, oh, 4:30 or this or that.
No, for instance, let me give you an example. If let's say you are in surgery, now you're rotating, let's say in the male ward, you come in the morning, you do your round, and then the consultant come or a senior, and then you do the round with them, and then you do your ward work. After that, you can just let the sisters that, if there's something that needs me urgently, you just call me, and then you just go to your place and check. And then whenever they have something, they call you. But they really call you.
I see. But how busy? That means it's not a busy hospital as others, right? Like how busy is it, if I may ask that way?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not really busy actually, because it's not a big hospital, so it's not that busy. When you're done with your work, I mean, you can just stay a bit and see what's there, and then after that, you just go and then that's it. So it's not that busy. It's only busy, like surgery, it is busy. It has its own days where like you find the ward is full, especially male ward is full. And then that's when you can say it's busy because you're gonna have a lot of ward work. And that also depends on how fast you are when you're working, because you might finish maybe, let's say 2, you might be finished with your ward round if you really wanna leave and know what you're doing.
I see. Like the previous speakers, they talked about wanting like types of interns, the intern that who wants to relax, and the intern who sort of wants to learn, like more academic, like when it's either you want to relax while you're working or you want to learn. So what type of hospital, what exposure does it give you between the two? What type of an intern who can benefit from one of the two in that hospital?
This one, okay, if you want to relax, yeah, you can come here. There is a bit of learning here and there. But I think most of the departments, like I said, some they didn't have, only had one consultant when I got there. And then when I left, some consultant came, like CHR, they have 3 now. I think there is a bit of academic learning there because they are having meetings where like interns are presenting. With PEDS, we used to have morning meetings where we always were presenting topics, and then sometimes we have this other thing called a drill where like they give you a scenario, then you have to approach it on how are you gonna manage that when let's say you're in casualty alone. So it is a bit of learning, but then what you can benefit mostly on in Ladysmith, it's hands-on. So you can benefit mostly on experience. But the learning, it's there, but it's not that much like academic hospitals. Because I mean, if you are in academic hospital, you know that you're gonna be learning a lot, but you're not gonna be doing a lot because there are registrars who want to do those things. There are probably MOs that wanna do those things. But then in this one, what work it's intern that is doing it. So I mean, work-wise, you are gonna have a lot of experience in doing things hands-on, but learning, it's on you whether you want to learn or you don't want to learn.
Oh, okay, no, perfect. No, I think if there are any questions in terms of the hospital and the work environment, I think it's you guys can ask that, you can type in. I just want to go to the DQ, like interested, I want to come there. How are the DQs? How is it? Am I sharing or what?
Okay, with that, okay, our DQs, I can see, okay, on my side, they are nice because like they are not inside the hospital. So there's a guy who's owning those residences. So some they are sharing, some they are staying alone. Okay, like me, I'm staying alone. And then most people they are sharing. Some they are sharing 2, and some is 3. But what I can say is that it's a new accommodation where like some of the buildings they are just recently rented. So, okay, from example where I was staying, I think it was completed last year. When I came in, it was still new. It's fully furnished, a new bed, new fridge, stoves, and actually everything. So our DQ is quite nice, and it's also secure where like, I mean, you have, it's fully fenced, and then you just have a remote control when you're coming in, when you're going out. So we had few break-ins earlier because the security was not that tight, but afterwards we really had break-ins in those accommodations. I think we had about 2 or 3 last year.
Yeah.
And then after that, the owner decided to fence the whole yard. But now I think it's quite safe because I haven't heard of any break-ins.
Oh, okay, I see. So it's the first intents, do they share, or like does the sharing, does it depend in terms of the first year or second year?
We only share first years, they are sharing with first years, second years are sharing with first years. Because I mean, first years they're still occupying the rooms that they were staying in, and then second years, and then first years they got new rooms this year. And then I think when we are leaving next year, if they don't change the contract with the owner of the current rooms that we are staying in, they will be occupying the rooms that we are staying in.
Oh, okay, I see. So do you pay the same amount, the 900 rents, or the hospital subsidizing, or you guys are paying extra?
We are paying the same 900 rand actually. You won't even see it because like they're deducting from your salary. So everyone is paying that 900, and the hospital is subsidizing on top of that. Actually, it's just adding on top of that. But us, we're just paying that 900.
Oh, okay, I see. So So you talked about the finishing, the furniture that is inside there. Like it has everything. Once you come, you just come with your pots, with your bedding, and you're all set.
Yeah, you just come with everyone. Okay, apparently it's that like if you read the HPCSA guideline, it says all the interns has to have a room that's fully finished and a recorder bed. But with us, we have a it's a double bed, and we have a fridge, microwave. We also have a stove. So what you can do is just to buy a TV, which the satellite dish is on the outside, and the cable, you just have to plug it in. So I think everything is there. You just have to come with your bags and move.
So in the HPCSA for policy there, it says that it must be furnished, it must have everything.
Yeah, fully furnished. Some, actually, I don't think most of the hospital, they do meet those requirements, because some says it should be fully furnished. You need to have a telephone in your room. The room has to be clean, I think 3 times a week. And it has to be secured as well. But some of them, you find that they're inside the hospital, they're not secured, anyone can go in and out. But some of them, they don't meet those requirements. But then that's how they used to be. There's nothing we can do.
I once said, I think it's up to us again to read the policy, you know, because I once had someone talking about the hours that you expected to work, and you find people overworking you there, and it's written on the HPCSA form that you must not exceed these hours per week, or things like this. I think it's something that we as students, we must dwell much on reading.
Yeah, that one, yeah. I think it's important that you need to check the book in terms of those working hours, because like the book says you don't have to exceed 20 hours per week, which means even if you do calls, if it's a 16-hour call, it means you are left with 4 hours that week. Overall should be 80 hours a month. So you just have to know the book, and then you know whether they are applying it or not. They shouldn't apply it when it's beneficiary to them, and then not apply it when it's beneficiary to you.
Yeah, perfect. No, I see. So there is it a flat, like ground house, or it's the apartments where you're staying?
Nah, it's not a flat. Actually, it's just what can I say? It's a small complex. It's okay. Where I stay, it has 4 houses. So there's mine, 2 separate, and then there's another one which is a 3-bedroom and a 2-bedroom. So it's just a small complex with huge fence. And then some they stay in. There's another one which is a full house which has a 4-bedroom, a lounge. It has a swimming pool. It has a kitchen, yeah, and also parking for cars. And yeah, that one it also has a big yard, like where you can just play soccer if you want to play it.
Yeah, no, that's nice. That's nice. You know, these guys will like, okay, but you, I saw your woman there, but you being with your woman, we're going to ask you to show us just a bit of the DQ, but I don't think it will be appropriate now because they're not alone there. You see, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna show you, but then.
Okay, no, chill, no problem. So, what's the question that I wanted to ask? I think this is the last question that I have before these guys ask you questions. Are you using investec? Or is this directed to you?
Yeah, I am.
Yes, thank you, man. One man just wanted us to talk about the investec. Just what, why, how, like what? I don't know how to structure this, but can you talk about investec as in everything?
Okay, you know, those guys, they will come like you'll be more excited because of the offers that they are giving you. Mostly it's because of the overdraft that they are giving you, the 25,000 that they are giving you early hours, and then. But the issue with investec, it's a good bank.
Yeah, say it in in that logical order of it. Don't just pass over 25,000. Tell us.
Okay,
tell us more.
Fine. What I can say is that my advice is that if you ever thinking of taking investec, investec, it's a good bank in a way that, okay, fine, if you want to buy a car, they want to tell you that, okay, this is the maximum amount of a car that you can buy. It's good in debt, unlike ABSA where they can just say, okay, take whatever car you want and just finance it. And with also investec, I think even the percentage, 9%, it's a good rate. But then with me, what I can say is that whenever you take investec, just know that you shouldn't take the overdraft that's more than 5,000, because that thing, paying it back, it's gonna be a struggle whenever you start working. Because what happens is that they give you the overdraft, and then when you get paid, they take it. It's still there. You haven't paid it, so it's adding up. Like you have more money. You don't see that you're still owing them, and there will be time when they will be taking their money small, like taking 1,000 for instance, or more than that. Just try, and then they'll tell you that, no, these are bank charges, while they are not, or it's because you used our overdraft, and then that's why we're taking this amount. And then another thing is that, let's say, I don't think there will be anyone who will be planning on buying a house anytime soon, but they still have to give you a certain maximum amount, that this is the amount that you can buy a house on. It does avoid to like put you in debt than ABSA. But what's good about these two is that, okay, me, I have investec, which I get paid on, and I also have ABSA, which I finance my car with, because I think it's convenient to finance your car with ABSA than investec. Because like there are some cars that you can't buy when you're using investec. If you can see, most people that have investec, the cars that they're driving, let me not comment on the cars that they're driving, but then they give you a certain amount that you can buy a car of this amount. Reason why is that we can't just give you all the credit to buy a car which is more expensive, that you're gonna struggle to pay.
But what amount? What's the max amount?
Mostly they go around 500,000 or less.
Yeah.
And then they can also give you, I think they do give you a loan for building whenever you have black tax at home. But with that, they also give you a certain amount, like where you need to get the planner, the builder of the house, and also where you're going to buy your material. It is convenient when it comes to those things, because like if they said, okay, fine, you want 300,000 to build at home, and then they give you 250,000 to go to the shop where you're going to buy the material, and then they give you maybe 50,000 to pay whoever is working and others to do some of the things. It is convenient with that. So investec, I think you're gonna be in less debt than when you're choosing ABSA, because ABSA, they just give you, as long as you are an intern, they know that you are able to pay, so they'll just give it to you.
So it's more convenient in terms of guiding you and helping you achieve, like we were mentioning. They can say go
find especially if you have a private banker that you get along with, they will guide you on what to do. So you just it's your own choice whether you will take their advice or you're not going to take it. But then those guys, they are always there, like, to guide you on, like, if you take this amount, this is what you're going to pay, and then this is how much debt you're going to be in. Because, like, at some point you can even ask them, like, how much is my bill? They're just going to tell you that you are in negatives, and try to avoid negatives and be on positives.
Okay, you mentioned,
but with that,
continue. It's fine.
Okay, I think with that, it depends on the choices that you make as an individual, whether you want to buy this expensive car or you want to buy a lesser expensive car. Reason, it's your choice at the end.
Yeah, I see. So you talking about that overdraft of 20. I think now it has come to 20K. I think the previous group got 20K. Like you say that they don't take that amount when you get paid. I missed that part.
Okay, what happens is that, let's say you get paid month end, né? If you check the investec card, it has net above and then it has available balance. So available balance is going to be the amount that is in your card, including the overdraft. But the net, it's the amount that you have when yourself. Yeah, let's say, let me give an example. Let's say you are someone who's earning 10K, né? They give you an overdraft of 5,000. So the net is gonna be 5,000, but the available balance is gonna be 10,000 because they included that overdraft. So you will think that I have more money, but you don't have more money. The amount that you have is that 5,000. But no, that you still have the excess of using that 5,000, the one that's only overdraft.
So when you see your balance there, you're going to see like 10,000 plus 5,000, and you're going to be seeing 15,000. And the 5,000 is the one that they're giving you.
Yeah, it's the overdraft. So that amount, you're still paying it. Actually, it's not even yours. Because, like, okay, myself, what happened is that I took that 25K, né? By the end of the month, I showed it all. I was on negatives. And then, like, I had to repay it, and then I closed it to 1,000. Like, now I don't have that overdraft. I decided to close it.
Because you don't see it while you're eating it.
Yeah, I don't see it. You're gonna enjoy it because, I mean, still January, you don't have money, or you see that overdraft, you think you have more money.
Yeah. But I think it's good for the good plans. You know, like you want to start up, if you're going to these residencies that do not give beds, you know, all this furniture. I think it's good for that startup.
Yeah, but it's unlikely that as an intern they don't provide those a bed, a fridge, stove, microwaves. Some they even give you a couch. So it's unlikely that you will find that the accommodation doesn't have all those things, because I mean it's a requirement of the hospital to have those things. If it doesn't have, it means it's not at the state of taking interns.
I see. But I heard, just going back to the overdraft, I heard that the rates are good there. I think they said, I'm not sure. I heard the last year group, they took around 20K, and they said the interest is 700, and if you bring it all, I'm not sure. How are the rates of paying that money back?
Okay, Mina, how I paid it, I don't know how you're gonna pay it. But what I did is that I just made sure that, okay, second month, I'm not gonna use that 25. I'm just gonna leave it there and then wait for March. If it's still there at the end of March, then I'm closing it. That's how I did it. So I don't know whether to close it the rate, or whether they're taking 1,000 or less. I'm not sure, because they just give you either they give you 12 months period to pay that 25,000 if you want to close it. So I don't know how they work it out.
Ah, okay, I see. So what else can you tell us about the investec before, like, I let these guys ask questions? What else can you tell us about it?
I think the tricky part is that, so, okay, if possibly you want a bank, you can have it. I don't know much about it. I was also recruited myself to get it earlier there. But the issue with investec is that you don't have to have one-on-one with the person that's your private banker. And then when you need some stuff, you'll have to go like to ABSA. Let's say, for instance, there's a document that you're gonna need to give at work. Then you'll have to go to ABSA and get those documents. Some you have to ask them to email it to you. Then you have to print them out, fax it, things like that. I think at that level, it is inconvenient because like you will have everything, it's electronical. You want a document that has stamp that yes, you are banking with investec, then you will have to ask them to put a stamp and email it to you, go print it out, which is a lot of work done. Let's say you are using a bank that's around where you just go to the bank, they give you the stamp and then fill everything, all the details, and then you take it there. Because even when you want to buy a car, it's still the same process where like you just have to email those things to them, they email it to you, then you email it to wherever dealer that you are going. So with some of those things, it's inconvenient.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think that's all from me in terms of the banks. I think we just have a little bit of time before we you guys, you can start asking questions if you do have any. You're more than welcome to ask questions to Dr. Manyiko here. Any question you have. In terms of the finances, how when you personally now, when you started last year, Jan, did you have all figured out? I mean, like, or the overdraft that they gave was the one that you used to buy everything?
You mean?
Like last year when you're starting 1st of Jan, right? Did you have everything figured out in terms of finances, or like from home or somewhere, or you use that investec money?
I use that overdraft. So, okay, that overdraft, it is convenient when like you're coming in a poor background like myself for that first month, because I mean, you don't have a car. Sometimes you find that the DQ it's away from where you are working. So you need money to go to work. So it is convenient in a way that you will have money to go to work. You will always have money to buy grocery stuff that you will need at your place. And then some I can even add some clothes. You can use it to buy clothes with that overdraft of investec. Yeah, it is convenient. But then the issue is that you don't have to take a lot of money on that overdraft. Take an amount that you know that month end I can pay it off and close it if I want to close it.
Oh, okay. In fact, take what you need. Take what you need. Don't take extra.
Just take what you need and then leave it like that.
Okay. The question here: what advice would you give with regards to buying a vehicle? For instance, how much would you say an intern would most likely to be able to pay monthly without any struggles? The advice. I think you had it. I think you had the question here.
Okay. On my advice, I think it depends on where you're coming from. But then let's not talk about the ones who are privileged enough to buy any car that they want. Let's say, for instance, you still have black tax on the side. So what you can do is that when it comes to buying a vehicle, don't go to a vehicle that you will pay, let's say, more than 12,000 of the car, including insurance.
Your phone is vibrating. It's shaking. I'm not sure if it's not stable because it's disturbing everything when it's vibrating there. Yeah, you can continue.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
You can continue.
So what I'm saying is that depends on your background and also the car that you want. But my advice is that always buy a car that you want. You shouldn't buy a car because the car is cheaper. Why you don't want it? Because like now you're gonna buy, let's say for instance, you want to buy a Benz, but then now you decide to start with a Polo. And then you see your friend is buying a Benz. Now you want to take back the Polo and then buy a Benz. So you should buy a car that you want and it is convenient with your finances. You shouldn't buy a car that you will pay, let's say, more than 13,000, including insurance. That's a lot. Yeah. So as much as it is like with that, I mean, when you have to buy a car, it also depends on the year of the car, the model of the car, the features that are there. You don't have to take unnecessary features that you don't need in the car. And then any car that you buy, just make sure that you go a year, let's say maybe you go for 2019, minimum is 2019, 2020, 2021. That's where you can go. And you also consider the kilos again, because like when you're buying a car, you need to consider the kilos of the car, the model, when is it going out of motor plan. And also they can even consider petrol-wise. That also depends. If you are someone who likes to travel, then you can consider that. But financially, just you have to stay in your lane. If you say, fine, I want to first deal with my black tax, trust me, you will never finish black tax. No matter what you do, you will never finish it. So what you have to do, just buy a car that you like, and then you'll sort the black tax along. Unless if it's a need that you sort it first, and then you jump into a car. For instance, I can't just go and buy a BMW while I know that I'm staying in a 2-room house. I have to sort that one out, and then I can go to the car that I want. Yeah,
I get you. I get you. I think there's another question here. Your take on balloon payments versus deposits, the rates of the cars with the banks and stuff. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's
okay. What I can say is that deposit of the car is a waste of money. Balloon, again, is just a trick. It prolongs the period that you're going to pay your car. And also, balloon itself, it has its own interest and another interest that you're going to pay monthly. So I would not advise anyone to take a car with a balloon, no matter how less the installment is. Just make sure that you avoid taking balloon. Rather go for a high installment and leave the balloon out. Your last payment should be your last payment. But that depends on whether you want to own the car or you want to trade it in back. If you want to trade it in back, just take a balloon. But if you want to own it, just make sure that you don't take it.
That one, how does that one of not owning the car work and taking it by balloon?
Okay, mostly if, let's say, for instance, you buy, let's say it's okay. Let's say you're buying a BMW, so service plan is 4 years. Whenever you go closer to that service plan, I'm sure like you will have to service the car on your pocket. But then if it's within the service plan, then they just service it for you. You just take it there, they service it for you for free. You just bring it back. So if you want to avoid that of saying, I don't want to own a car that I'm going to service it every time. You just have to take balloon. Let's say they say 30% of the amount of the car. And then when you're closer to finishing the car, or let's say it's a 4 years period, when you get to that 4 years, you just take the car back and you get another car.
What about the balloon?
If you have a shortfall, the shortfall will cover the balloon. But then the balloon is the overall price of the car. So there's a retained value of the car, which is how much the car is worth. And then there's an amount that you are owing the bank. That one is the one that includes the interest. So if there's a thing that it's called, a shortfall. So you're going to sell the car at a retained value, which means it's the amount that the car is at that time. Let's say you bought a car while it was 600,000, and then now the car is 400,000. Then you will have a slight amount that is there, which is a shortfall. So that one, the bank will just settle it, and then you get another car. But some dealers, they just take that amount and add it on top of the car that you are buying. Let's say maybe you don't have a shortfall. The shortfall is 100,000. Then you want to trade in the car, and then they're going to take that 100,000 and put it on top of the new car that you're buying.
Oh, okay. I see it. But it means that if you're using the balloon, I mean, if you're buying that, like, it means that you cannot go above the car you once bought if your salary is still the same.
You mean it?
If you are using that, like, I want to take this car back, right? It means that the next car that you're going to take cannot be above the first car. The amount cannot be above the first car. Or it can be.
It can be. You can trade in a Polo, Then you find that, okay, you bought a car at, let's say 350,000, and then when you send it, when now you want to trade in back, and then you find that it's 150,000. Then what they do, the garage or the bank, it will just, okay, mostly it's the garage, they will just say to you, we're taking the car at 150. And then, but then at the bank, you find that, okay, I'm still having maybe 50,000 that's left on that car, because I mean, it's not the value of they take the car based on its value at that time, not at the amount that you are owing the bank.
Yeah.
So you might find that the car is 150,000, but its value is 100,000. So whenever they sell the car, they're gonna sell it at 100,000. There's that 50,000 that's left. Either they carry it to the next one, or if you have a balloon, they just no, what's that? A shortfall. The bank will cover that.
Now, what I'm saying is that the amount. Remember, I bought the Polo at 350. So now, whatever car that I'm going to buy, and I'm doing that, I'm going to be paying more installment compared to the first one that I had.
Yes, because they were going to add the amount that was left on that car, the one that you are owing the bank, and add it on the car that you are having now.
Oh, okay, I see. Now, you guys, you can ask questions. You can still ask questions. So, where you staying? The DQ? It's you walk to the hospital, or what? Or you drive? How long?
For me, it's just, I think it's 4 kilometers away from the hospital, but there's another one that is closer to the hospital where you can just walk in and walk out.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I think those are my questions. If you guys got questions, I think we covered the financial part, including money. You know, I think Manyiko was the best candidate in terms of this. He drives a powerful machine. One day he promised me for a drive. Even now, I'm still waiting. You know, but in terms of Durban, I mean, KZN itself, what hospitals can you advise? I mean, you've been there. I just want to write them down. What hospitals would you advise for someone who wants to go there?
Okay, KZN, I don't know much about it, because I mean, there are hospitals that are in Durban, Prince Mshiyeni, King Edward, and also PMB. But I've worked with someone from PMB, so most of the things I think the registrars are doing them. It's nice with the entertainment, because it's in urban area. Even Durban, there are a lot of places where you can go. But I don't have much info about those hospitals on the working place, working hours, and how they're doing most of the things. But what I've heard is that most of the things, wherever there's a registrar, registrars are doing everything.
Oh, okay, I see. Now, perfect. Dr. Manyiko, I'll just give you this opportunity to say your last words to the students, to the incoming interns, and to those that are still on their feet and fourth year going down. What are your last words to them?
What I can say is that, okay, as much as it is hard to be a student, but you just have to put in the effort of understanding most of the things that you are doing as a student, because like studying and working, these are two different things. You can be a cum laude student, and then when it comes to work, I mean, you don't really know what's happening. You just have to balance both studying and doing the work that you are doing. And then with, I mean, 5th years, I mean, you're already in final year, you just have to study hard, and then you jump into final year. With SMU, we know that, I mean, final years already passed. You just have to attend, study well, and then prepare yourself for the exams. And then, I mean, the rest is just, you will see when you're done that, I mean, life now, it's easy afterwards, because you don't have to study. You have all the time. And of course, I can add money on top of that. But yeah, I mean, with the final years, all the best, you will see whenever you start.
Okay. Now, perfect. Now, thank you, Dr. Manyiko. I think that's all that I had for today. So thanks for your time, and thanks to everyone who was watching. So in the absence of any questions, I think we've come to the end of our meeting. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, okay.
Cheers.
Sure.
And the video will be uploaded on YouTube, so definitely. So cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.